Hey you guys, this is Qualita. My real name is Qualita for people who don't know. Quality like Qualita, right? So it's spelled Quality. You just replace the Y with the A in Qualita, all right? So my platform name is Lady Q Inspires or She's Quality, all right? So come to my videos, subscribe and like, and turn your notifications on so you can get notified anytime I'm live, because I'm going to do a lot of more lives on YouTube or anytime I make a video. I live in Brooklyn, New York, and I am a single mother of 2 babies, a motivational speaker and entrepreneur, well, trying to be. All right, so I am here to motivate you today, okay? I just want to let you know that some of you are in seasons that God is reteaching you. God has been giving me a lot of re's, right? He's been giving me renewal, refocusing, reevaluating, transformation. It's just a lot of re's, right? Retransforming, right? It's just a lot of re's he's been giving me. And it's like he's reteaching you. So a lot of you have probably went away from family. You probably moved out of state. You probably left a bad relationship. And when you were connected to these people, you were taught the wrong doctrines. You were taught the wrong doctrines. You were taught wrong lessons you were taught. That's why your life has been like up and down, and some of you have went through battles of, you not, having friendships for a while, always cutting off people, never hearing nobody's side of the story, right? And that is a good way to be, right? But it's not a good way to just cut off people and you don't know like the reason for it. You don't have no discernment. You're just doing it because your father told you to do that, or you're doing it because your mother told you to do that. So a lot of habits that you guys have had, you didn't understand that those were the wrong habits. And a lot of you have been abused religiously. A lot of people, maybe you had a narcissistic family who taught you narcissistic religion in a narcissistic way, right? And that's why it doesn't matter if you come from a church family or if you come from church, you can still be taught the wrong doctrine. So a lot of you were just taught wrong. And now you're in a season of isolation with God, or you in a season of elevating, or you in a season you completely left everybody behind, right? You have completely healed. You have been going through the motions. I'm talking to those people. This video is not for everybody. If you are still in that transformation, you just moved out of state, or you just, did the big cut off with your family or relationship, I will have a outline guide on how to get through that. But I'm talking to the people who have already been through this, right? You have healed, you have prayed, now you have a prayer life, now you have a fasting life. You're just growing and growing. But sometimes, the enemy steps in and you have this up and down flow going on. But I just want to speak about how God reteaches you everything. It's like you're going through a whole new learning. And, it can make you sad sometimes because you're like, dang, I never knew that, right? Or I never knew I could do that. I never knew the talent I have. I never knew the gift I have. And the reason why God does this is because he wants you to rediscover yourself. A lot of you were connected to, people who were jealous of you, people who were envious of you. You even have family that was envious of you. The black sheep, most of the time, is always the one in the family that has these talents and gifts. And you, like Joseph, right? You've always been the favored one, right? And it doesn't mean you're better than everybody because you didn't even choose that lifestyle. You didn't. And you grew up thinking like, God, I want to be normal. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to have this discernment. I don't want to have these giftings, but God chose you for a reason. What am I saying? I'm saying that God got you in a season of just teaching you all over again, all right? You're going to start learning new ways on how to clean up. It can be the small stuff. Learning new ways on how to talk, how to make friends, how to communicate. If you have dealt with a narcissistic parent, you had a difficulty in communicating with people because you were taught to communicate this way. You were taught that, or some of you were taught that you were always right, which is not good at all. If you were taught growing up that you were always right and nobody else is wrong, You will have problems in business. You will have problems in connecting with people. You will always have problems because you have this level of pride. So now that you are away from all of that, God just wants to reteach you. He wants to relearn you. It's like he's teaching you all over again. It does not mean that you're unintelligent. It does not mean that you missed the mark. It just means that God is saying, look, you are here with me now. You are protected. I'm giving you the wisdom. I'm giving you the teachings on what to do. And when he does this, you got to understand that you have to forgive your past enemies, forgive your parents, forgive your family members, because a lot of them came from generations that nobody taught them. And I know this is cliche. A lot of people don't like hearing this. They don't like hearing, well, it doesn't matter. They were grown enough to know how to take care of kids. Some of them, maybe they was in age. Maybe your mother was about 30 something years old, but in her mind, she was still about 19 years old, right? So you have to go back. You have to say, God, allow me to understand my enemies. Yes, sometimes you have to say, God, allow me to understand this person. Allow me to understand, why did they do this to me? Allow me to understand, why did they betray me? The saying that hurt people is so true. Some people that betray you, it comes from a spirit of them being betrayed, right? Them never getting the justice. So what they do, they have this bitterness about them. They don't care. They become cold. They don't care how they treat somebody, right? Or you have some people on the other side that they know exactly what they're doing, right? And, you know, they want to see people down because they're down. So you have to being that God is reteaching you, I don't need you to get angry at your past. Get angry at the people who raised you. Get angry on where you come from. You have to let that go. You have to, because it's dangerous to think like that, because you get into a mindset of, man, I was delayed. Man, my family wasted my time. I could have been here. And you can't have that mindset going to the top. You have to let that go. You have to say, God, help me understand my enemies. Help me forgive them. Now that you're reteaching me, you know, I have not wasted no years. I have not wasted any time. I'm glad that you picked me up, God. The reason why you have to have this type of mindset, because anger will come in, and there's different spirits tied to anger. First, you have a spirit of anger, then you have a spirit of addiction, then you have a spirit of lust. They tie together. So you have to make sure anytime that you're feeling angry at your past, or angry at your family, or angry at your parents, you got to say, Lord, help me to forgive. I've been through my most deepest betrayal with my family. I left a domestic violence relationship about 3 years ago, moved to New York without a penny. And I left before things got worse, right? Because I'm the type of person, I'm not going to wait and, you know, look and see if you're going to do something worse. When I see it, I have to go. And a lot of people said that I lied, my whole family. Even some of my family members who knew the truth and decided to still lie. The first court day, I went to court. The first court date, of course, when you leave an abuser, they take you to court for custody of your children. I was pregnant when I left, y'all. Homeless, sleeping in the car, taking care of another baby. Now my babies are 2 years old. They're little Irish twins, and they're healthy. They're strong. But the first court date, my whole family was there. And not for me, but for my child's father. That's how I knew that there's a devil. That's how I really knew, okay, what's going on, right? But I had to dig deeper, and I had to say, okay, this is deeper than me, okay? And you'll hear the full story one day later on soon. But what am I saying, y'all? You have to forgive these people. You can't let it hold on, because God is trying to reteach you so it can be a re-meet, because people are about to re-meet you. All right, it's gonna be a reintroduction. God is just giving me a lot of reads. I don't know what he got me doing with the reads, but I'll figure it out. He got me doing a lot with these reads. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll ask him about it, okay? But just a lot of people, they're gonna have to re-meet you. There's gonna be a reintroduction. So let him reteach you, so there can be a reintroduction. While he's reteaching you, don't look back on your past and say, oh, why did my mother teach me this? Oh, why did my father teach me this? Because when you start doing that, you start to get angry all over again. You can really be washing dishes and get angry at something that happened when you were 7 years old. And I do understand trauma. You know, a lot of people that were sexually abused, those thoughts come. But you have to get into a season that you can't let it overpower you, because it's going to stop you from getting to the top. So I'm saying this message to say, allow God to reteach you and forgive the people who taught you wrong. Forgive the people who maybe they knew how to teach you and they taught you wrong. They wanted to psychologically abuse you on purpose. You know, just, you have to get into a season of, that's the past. It's not you. It's not your identity. This is your identity. Sometimes God takes you way back to your original form, you guys. All right. So I do have some links at the bottom of this video. I really do want to do a Warriors Champ, a Warriors camp that I'm doing. I said champ, but it's for the champions too. And this class is going to be a 7-session class virtually, and I want you to join. It may start in August next month. And what this class is going to do is teach you how to become more powerful and how to become more confident in your walk of being the black sheep, in your walk of being set apart. So that description and that link is under this video. All right. If this platform has been blessing you, if this word has been blessing you, my CA Cash App is $ She's Quality. SHESQUALITY, just how you say it. She's Quality. If this word is blessing you, only if you're led, you guys. But I just had to say that. Let God reteach you so there can be a re-meet and reintroduction. Let the past go. All right, because God is trying to take you up. Okay, so let everything go. What happened, how they did you. And I'm not saying that they were supposed to do you wrong. No, you did not deserve that. I just want to tell you, do not deserve that. But you do deserve joy and happiness. Talk to you soon, you guys. Have a great day.